This week on The Real Housewives of Dubai.
It's really in a bad place.
No, we don't speak like that to each other.
I know. I didn't sleep.
Lisa trusted Chanel, I get it.
Honestly, it did hurt me when you said that you don't trust me. And I felt like, because you kept on saying that.
Yo, what's up everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Dubai Season 2, Episode 9. They were off last week, but we are back, so let's get right into this episode. Alright, so pretty good episode. So, let's get started. So, we started the episode where we left off last episode, but like I said, there was a week break. So, in case y'all forgot, let me remind y'all. So, we picked back up at this dinner, and it's a web of she said. Okay, so, a few days before this trip, Ayan met with Taleen and Stanbury. Ayan then played a voice note that Sara sent to Lesa and Lesa sent to Ayan. In the voice note, Sara was talking bad about Brooks and said, "I'm not her biggest fan." Now, here in this trip, at this dinner, Stanbury and Sara sort of got into it. Stanbury says, well, if we're going to be so honest and you're so close with Brooks, let's listen to the voice note. Ayan then quickly turns to Lesa, and it looks like she was about to poop her pants because she knows she broke Lisa's trust because Lesa sent it to her, and Ayan shared it with the others. So Lesa says, "That's messy, I can't trust you again." And then Lesa then tries to explain that she sent Ayan a voice note that Sara had sent to her because she was confused if she maybe misheard what Sara said. Sara asks, "Well, what voice note was it? What did I say in it?" And Taleen says, "Well, you said in the voice note that you said I'm not the biggest fan of Caroline Brooks." So then they actually play it. And once they hear it, Sara clarifies that she meant that Lesa was the one who wasn't a fan of Brooks, but that Sara said she wasn't a big fan of Taleen. So Sara is like, "Yes, Taleen, it was about you. I'm sorry, but I didn't like the way you were screaming at Brooks at that party." Taleen in her confessional says that, it would have been fun to see if, in the moment, it would have been fun to see if it was Sara actually talking about Brooks, but she would much rather it be her because she knows how much Brooks and Sara's friendship means to Brooks. Also, you guys, listen to this confessional that Brooks did. Just listen to this real quick.
Sara was talking about Taleen, not me. And you know what? I can't say that I disagree.
She's drunk. She needs to quit drinking. Oh my gosh. But anyway, Lesa does apologize to Sara in the moment for sharing the voice note. Sara totally understands it though because she understands that Lesa sent it to Ayan because she trusted her. In their eyes, the one that's really wrong is Ayan for then sharing it with Stanbury and Taleen. Now, the crazy part here is that Ayan is mad at Stanbury, and so is Lesa. And Lesa even says, "A snake will always be a snake, even if it shed its skin." The reality is, first of all y'all are snakes. Okay, let's start with that. But then Stanbury says, "Thank you, Lesa. I feel the same about you, darling." But then Stanbury is in my opinion, she is really not to blame for anything because Ayan shared this voice note to her on camera. So let's even just break the fourth wall for a second. If you're sharing something on camera, you know damn well that it's going to be brought up eventually. And by the way, Stanbury, when she heard this voice note from Ayan, Stanbury didn't know where the hell it came from. Ayan just shared it with them. She never said, "Oh, Lesa sent it to me because Sara sent it to her." They didn't know none of that. So I think Ayan is just deflecting. She then gets mad at Lesa because Lesa is mad at her because Lesa said, "I can't trust you anymore." So wait a minute. And listen, I'm not even a fan of Lesa Milan at all. But Ayan, you were mad that Lesa is mad about something you did? Gaslighting 101 right there. Okay, so then Ayan gets up. She says she needs a minute. And then we see a screen that says 20 minutes later. The cameras pick back up. And we hear Ayan like, I'm loyal. it's Ayan crying. So then Lesa is walking down the halls crying as well. So then Lesa tells us that when she went to go check in on Ayan in her room, Ayan blew up on her and said, F you, you embarrassed me in front of everyone, it was effed up, F you, F you, F you, F you. So now Lesa is the one crying, walking across the halls, saying she never felt this disrespected ever in her life. But then this was weird as hell to me. Lesa calls Ayan's husband. She says, I'm sorry. I'm so mad at Ayan right now. I shared something with her and then she told Stanbury. I think that's a little weird. Listen, if I'm married and I get in a fight with my buddy, you sure as hell ain't gonna call my wife. The hell? I don't care how close we are. That felt a little weird. But the reason she called him was because her own husband didn't respond. But eventually he did return the call. And Lesa tells him what Ayan just did. She even calls Ayan the B word because she says no one has ever spoken to her in that manner. Meanwhile, the girls are all playing around with some glow stick bracelets that they're having because they're going to go party. Brooks goes to look for Lesa, who was crying, but in her confessional, in her drunk confessional, Brooks says, Yes, the house of cards is falling. Oh. But anyway, eventually they all go to party, everyone except Ayan. One of the things that Stanbury says, and she is right, she said, if anyone has the right to actually be upset, it should be Sara and Taleen, not Lesa, and definitely not Ayan. But anyway, the girls then just forget about everything and they dance and have a good time at the club. It was great to see that Brooks and Taleen were dancing and having a lot of fun. They didn't like the alcohol that they gave them. They said it was cheap, but that didn't stop them from drinking. Taleen then goes to find some random guy with some long ass hair to talk to Brooks. Taleen is crazy. Then the guy takes them to some other club where they're dancing on some cages, letting loose, having fun. Then they go to a third club where they get on the stage and they're dancing. They had a blast. So the next morning, the women are waking up. It was one hell of a night. Taleen goes to Stanbury's room. Stanbury says that she would have never guessed that her little comment was going to cost World War III. Taleen says, yeah, Ayan is very mad at Lesa. I don't know where Stanbury was, but she missed that whole memo of what happened last night. So all of this was news to her, and Taleen is filling her in on that. Taleen also tells Stanbury to hurry up because Sara is doing some spiritual birthing canal. Listen, I like all that stuff, but I would not go to any spiritual thing that Sara Madani plans. I don't trust her. I think she's a phony. But then we see Ayan call her husband to tell him what happened last night, and he's asking as well because Lesa called him. I wonder why they didn't show at least the audio of what happened last night, because I'm sure they were mic'd, so I wonder why they didn't show that. But anyway, the breakfast table was awkward as hell. Lesa and Chanel Ayan are not speaking. Sara then asks Ayan why didn't she go with them to party, and Ayan was like, I need a break, it was a lot. Then Saba can throw shade. So she says in her little fancy accent, well, I think a lot of people were hurt after that dinner. Sara, Brooks, Taleen, Lesa, but they all went. Oh, damn. Then Ayan says to Lesa, we gotta talk later. And Lesa can't hold it in. She completely starts to cry. Ayan then goes after her, and Ayan says, I was hurt that you said you didn't trust me. Lesa says, okay, well, maybe I did overreact, but what I'm most upset about right now is the way you spoke to me when I went to go check up on you. I'm guessing it must have been very bad, because for Lesa to keep saying that over and over that it was that bad, it must have been that bad. But as they're talking, they both do apologize, they sort of make up, and promise not to do it again. So they're good for now. They all make it down, and then Sara says that they are going to go to a waterfall where they will scream and release all their traumas via their screaming. They get on the vans. It was a long drive, and Stanbury felt so sick. One car was Lesa, Brooks, and Ayan, and they're dancing, having fun, singing. The other car with everyone else was very boring, and the vibe was just not there. They finally get there. They change into some traditional attire. They do something they call the purification, and then they get some baskets like full of stuff and steam, and they have to go give the offerings to the Hindu gods. Lisa, she was like, I'm not gonna pray to a false god, as no Christian should. And then Taleen made some shady comment talking about where was your moral high ground last night? Listen, it's a big difference for you to be dancing at the club than to be praying to a false god. Like, come on now, Taleen, don't be dumb. So then they go to the water fountain and they get super wet and they start screaming. Now, Stanbury was being the biggest buzzkill. She sat on some rock and didn't want to participate on anything. And then, look, it's not good to not be a team player. Like, at least do it. Even if you don't feel anything, because some women did feel something, some didn't, but, it's just fun to do it. So when they get back home, Lisa reached out so that each of the women could have a very nice, traditional, elegant Indonesian dress for the dinner. So everyone receives their dress. Lisa chose them, and then they go to the rooms to get ready. But then Taleen, Stanbury, and even Brooks feel a little bit set up because they think their dresses are not nice, and they're thinking of not even wearing them to the dinner. And then that's where the episode ended. So yeah, you guys, that was the episode. You let me know, what are your thoughts about this whole drama with this voice note? Like, I mean, it's not that serious, to be honest, for them to have blown up with like that, like, whatever. But I think people are mad at the wrong people, and it's just crazy, like, what the hell? So let me know what your thoughts are. It's going to be interesting now, though, because clearly the memo isn't going to be the reason why Chanel and Lisa fall out eventually. So I'm curious to see what that's going to be about. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.